Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. As always, here on the channel, using a different mic today. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section. If you like the audio, if you think it's better, maybe we'll use this more in the future. So testing it out on today's show. Got some news and rumors to get into, so we'll jump on in here. It's been a wild morning at Halas Hall as I was ready to do a video about an hour ago, and right before we were going to do it, the Bears are back at Halas Hall, or at least they're heading back, because earlier this morning, Halas Hall was shut down because there was a positive test within the team. Of course, earlier this week, a couple of practice squad players went on the COVID-19 reserve list, so everybody thought, oh, is it related to that? But no, apparently a new player tested positive. That name has not been revealed as of yet. We should hear who that is later, but the Bears apparently got the all clear, and they will return and practice in just an hour or two at Halas Hall. So what that means ultimately is Bears versus Texans in good shape. Shouldn't have any issues for this Sunday's game. More on that matchup later on in the show. This was Nagy earlier today because he met with the media from his home office on Zoom when the Bears initially shut down, saying, let's just hit the pause button literally by the hour. Let's not put our players, coaches, staff at any type of risk. The Bears also released a statement basically saying, look, we're going to be overly cautious and do our due diligence here, which is what it appears the team has done. They've gotten the all clear, and they can head back and practice, and all is good. Now, the Bears have been very smart and very safe when it comes to the coronavirus, and you can too by wearing a face mask. Go to chatsports.com/BearsMasks. All of these are on sale for at least 30% off, but some of these, like this 3-pack and this next 3-pack, are literally like 82% off. Usually they're $24.99. Right now, these 3-packs are $4.99. A perfect stocking stuffer for Christmas. Stay safe, rep the Bears, get a Bears face mask. We, of course, have the 4-packs as well. All these face coverings on sale, but those 3-packs I mentioned, those are a steal right now at over 80% off. Go to chatsports.com/BearsMasks. That link will be in the comments and in the description. You can pick from any of the variety of options right there. So they're back at Halas Hall, and that's a good thing, right? You don't want to lose a day of practice, but I give the Bears credit for saying, hey, one positive test. We're going to do the smart thing here. We're going to send guys home. We'll do meetings on Zoom, and initially the plan was to hopefully do a walkthrough tonight once they got the all clear, but apparently they got word earlier, and they're going to be able to do, a full threshed practice out there. So that's good. Bears need as much reps as they can get as they try to get back on their winning track this week against the Houston Texans. We'll see if they're able to do that this weekend, obviously, but kudos to the Bears for playing this smart and following all the protocols and all of that good stuff. Now I want to ask you this question, and we'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. What year did you become a Bears fan? What year in the comments? I know if it was the year you were born, if you were born into it, you can leave that year as well, but let me know, reply to the pinned comment, what year did you become a Bears fan? Now, a big discussion this week and talking point has, of course, been that 2017 draft because Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson will be going head-to-head, mano-a-mano for the first time since they both got drafted in 2017. Of course, the Bears infamously at this point traded up to get Trubisky, moved from 3 to 2 because they thought maybe San Francisco would take him. They, of course, were never going to. They take Mitchell Trubisky, which, again, never going to harp a guy for trading up for a quarterback. They just picked the wrong one, and that's why it's fire Ryan Pace time. But Patrick Mahomes and Watson obviously went number 10 and number 12 overall in this draft, and now Trubisky and Watson face off. And Trubisky knows what the storyline around this is. He knows what the headlines are, the talking points. I thought he handled this really well with the media late on Wednesday, saying it's always going to be a story because of our draft class. I don't control that narrative. It was me, Deshaun, and Pat. We were picked where we were, and now it's up to us to make the most of our opportunities. They have done a great job with their opportunity, and I'm still trying to write my story here. He understands how it's gone. He understands that Mahomes and Watson have become two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and that he's very much been up and down. Trubisky's had his moments, but there's a reason that Chicago did not pick up his fifth-year option, and Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes have signed major extensions with their current teams and are going to be with their current teams for a very long time. And, we'll see what Trubisky's future holds. I don't think it'll be here in Chicago, but I give him credit. I think he's been classy the whole way. He's certainly tried. He's given it a go. It just hasn't worked out in the end. Now, if you want Ryan Pace fired because he took the wrong quarterback and for about 20 other reasons, type F in the comment section. It's time. Get him out of here. Type F for fire Ryan Pace. It's an obvious solution here. Go ahead and spam F in the comments section. Now, we've got Matt Nagy replacements video from earlier this week up on the channel. It's one of many reasons to subscribe here at Chicago Bears Now. If you're looking for my top 10 candidates to replace him, look for this thumbnail here. It's just the picture of the video. Click on it, and you can check out that video right there. Some interesting names on that list. Of course, if he does get fired, hasn't been fired as of yet, but there's a pretty good chance that's going to happen. Lots of reasons to subscribe to Chicago Bears Now because we're putting up videos every single day covering the latest Bears rumors, news. We do mailbags as well, live every Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern. Moving forward, we've done it the past couple of weeks. That is the plan moving forward here on the channel. YouTube.com/Bears Now. But you're watching on the channel, just hit that subscribe button. Now, Deshaun Watson is obviously on the other end of the spectrum when it comes to the 2017 NFL draft, and they asked him, they're like, look, you motivated to face the Bears for the first time. They passed you up in the draft. He said it's no motivation. They did what they did, and it is what it is, and I'm happy here in Houston is basically what he said. He did also add, though, that he has no idea why Chicago was not more interested before the draft, and I'm with you, Deshaun, because you were the defending national champ and the best player in college football, and the Bears were like, Mitchell Trubisky's our guy. That's very puzzling. Forget Mahomes in the equation. Deshaun Watson was an obvious pick in that draft, and the Bears did not view it that way. So Trubisky, Watson, they're going to face each other for the first time, which is kind of wild, but since they're in opposite conferences, you only face each division in the opposite conference every 4 years. That's how it works. This is their fourth year in the league, and it just happens to be the last in the pecking order since they both entered the NFL. Should be a good game. It's a very close point spread with our sports betting partner Bet Rivers, 1.5 point favorites for the Texans, the Bears. The total over-under is at 45. I love the over in this game, but let me know first who you got. Type HOU for the Texans, type CHI for the Bears. Look, a lot of you guys got mad the other day when I said it's time for the Bears to tank. Obviously, this team is going to try to win, and they should try. My point is, this organization would be better off long term if they lost these games and got a higher draft pick. That's my point. I'm never going to advocate for players to not try to win and coaches to not try to win. Doesn't make sense. But I think they're better off if they lose games, but we'll see what happens. HOU for Houston, CHI for the Bears. And if you want to bet on this one, I already mentioned our friends at Bet Rivers. You can make some money on this game and all NFL games and get a 100% deposit match when you sign up at either chatsports.com/betil or chatsports.com/betin. You can sign up and deposit from anywhere, but you must place a bet in either the state of Indiana or Illinois, hence the two different links there. For Indiana folks, chatsports.com/betin. For Illinois folks, chatsports.com/betil. Get going with Bet Rivers from anywhere. And if you're in one of those two states, whether you're traveling there or you live there, make some money with Bet Rivers, especially this weekend, because I think there's some money to be made if you bet the over on this one. Texans defense is trash. Their offense is great. Bears defense hasn't played well the past couple of weeks. I think the over, I'm hammering the over in this game, actually. 45, way too low. I think it's 50 plus. Go make some money at Bet Rivers at either chatsports.com/betin or chatsports.com/betil. Now let's talk more about Ryan Pace, because obviously we're talking the Trubisky, the Watson storyline, and how that whole thing has played out. It's become obvious to me that Ryan Pace can't evaluate talent. And that quarterback talent specifically. I'm not saying he hasn't made some good moves, but when it comes to the quarterback position, think about what this guy has done, okay? Number one, he gave Mike Glennon $45 million. Mike Glennon, he's a disaster, okay? That's number one. Then he got goofed. He got tricked into trading up for Mitchell Trubisky for number 2 overall from number 3 pick. The Niners were never going to draft him. Got a haul for him, and so that happened. You lost out on that deal. And okay, trading up is one thing, but you traded up for the wrong guy. If you're going to trade up and give up that capital, you have to hit, and he missed. So that happened. Then this offseason, he trades for Nick Foles, who has a brutal contract. Yeah, they were able to restructure it, but still makes $8 million per year. He has 2 more years on his contract after this year. You're stuck with him at this point. Ryan Pace has been a bad GM when it comes to the quarterback position and several other things. But if your GM can't evaluate quarterbacks, you got no chance. And that's why you got to get rid of Ryan Pace. Spam F in the comments section. Also, if you want a Ryan Pace replacements video, type 1 for yes. If you're weird and you don't and you're a big Ryan Pace fan, type 2 for no. But I've seen a lot of you guys asking for it already, so type 1 in the comments if you want a Ryan Pace replacements video. Obviously, if he gets fired, we'll for sure do one. But if you want a list now, I can put one together and probably get it on the channel next week. So let me know. Just type 1 in the comments if that's what you want. Real quick, let's take a look at the playoff picture because, hey, even though I'm on Team Tank, at this point, there's still opportunities here for the Bears. You got 4 games left. The schedule's not too brutal, and you're only a game back. So at 5-7, the number 7 seed is not out of reach. So look at this week. These are the games you need to keep an eye on. Cardinals, Giants. You need the Giants to win that game, I believe. The good news is if the Cardinals win, that basically buries the Giants in the wild card hunt, so you wouldn't have to worry about them. But you've got the tiebreaker over them right now, so I think you would want Arizona to lose that game. So keep that game in mind. Minnesota at Tampa. You need the Vikings to win. I know you got the tiebreaker over the Bucs, but I just don't see you closing the gap on Tampa Bay. 2 games back with 4 to go. I think you need Minnesota to lose that game, and then you play the Vikings next week, so you could bury them, assuming you beat the Texans this week. And then Washington at 49ers. This is a tough one. I think it's better if Washington wins, but, you know, either way, the loser of that game is pretty much out of the hunt. And then Green Bay at Detroit, no slip-ups from Aaron Rodgers and the boys. You need to get Detroit out of the mix there. Those are the games to keep an eye on, especially those top 2, Cardinals, Giants, Vikings, Bucs. Those are 2 games to really focus on if you're still wanting the Bears to make the playoffs. And look, if you do, not going to blame you because fans should always want their teams to make the playoffs. And, hey, if the Bears made the playoffs, I'd be excited too. I just don't think it's very likely. So be sure you're subscribed. We'll have videos throughout the week leading up to this weekend's game and, of course, all season long. I'm Harrison Graham signing off here on Chicago Bears Now.